Hey tankers, and thanks for once again swinging on by World of Tanks with PR154. Today we have one of our active and dedicated European followers of the channel, thysnyper of the JWin clan. Now it's a rather cute abbreviation actually. The full clan name is Just Win and Leave the Rest to Me. But I can assure viewers here that thysnyper's premium Tier 7 American Tank Destroyer M56 Scorpion will be doing its part in this particular fight. That's despite being mid-tiered between Tier 8 and Tier 6. Now the main reason for this is thysnyper has an important job to do, specifically one of the final T-28 heavy tank concept personal campaign missions, TD-15 Triumph. Their primary mission condition is to inflict at least 3,000 hit points of damage upon enemy vehicles, and in order to claim honours, their efforts need to result in 3 kills as well as victory. Now it could probably be argued here that there are better tank destroyers out there than M56 Scorpion. It has the lowest damage per minute of a premium Tier 7 tank destroyer, and the vehicle's practically unarmoured, although this lack of armour is somewhat compensated by one of the highest concealment ratings at tier. Its 0.32 meters per 100 meters base dispersion and 1.82 seconds of base aim time is highly adequate, but comparable to its peers, while its generous 60-degree firing arc is offset by higher dynamic dispersion while whipping the gun or vehicle about. Speaking of whipping vehicles about, the team's HWK-30 appears to have developed the notion that sewer scouting is a reliable tactic, and although they've lit up half the enemy team, they've thrown their tank away for all of 500 hit points of spotting assist. The enemy VK-3002D isn't faring much better, however, having overextended and being set on fire by a Type 64 and wrapped up by a Cromwell that finishes it with a ram. Fortunately, a slightly more measured scouting effort by the mediums appears to be keeping enemy heavy vehicles lit, allowing thysnyper to provide consistent damage into the enemy ranks. Considering that kills is an honest condition, however, I'm a little surprised they came off the one-shottable KV-1S in the pursuit of damage there, but thankfully they've returned to finish the job. As VK-3002D crosses the low ground and eating a few shells for it, thysnyper keeps up the fire on enemy Tiger 1. Trying to get in on the action, the team's Type 64 is knocked out by an unseen Stridsvagn 81, while Cromwell overextends for a similar order of premature shutdown by the SU-130PM. With the cross looking somewhat devoid of targets for thysnyper, they're hoping VK-3002D can locate an opportunity to keep their gun singing. But the Tier 7 German medium has lost half their hit points crossing the low ground, only to find the wrong end of a Stridsvagn 81 for their troubles. The premium Tier 8 Swedish Centurion clone holds the clear advantage of hit points, firepower and hull down fighting ability in this situation, although the Tier 7 German does manage to get some damage in. They've also drawn the curiosity of the enemy T-25.2, who strays into thysnyper's line of fire while looking for the kill, but despite taking damage they manage to reverse quickly enough to avoid being garaged this time. The score is 2-4 against thysnyper's team, but they're still keeping up appearances in the south, with the Tier 7 German Heavy Tiger Porsche knocking out the enemy 40 TP, and although there's much to dislike about the Tiger Porsche, they make best use of rocks, soft cover and the extremely forward turret to destroy the enemy Stridsvagn M4257 for the score equaliser. Sensing the game is up at this location, thysnyper seeks out an alternative firing angle and repositions to support the SU-101, but the threat comes from a wider flank, with Tiger 1 emerging to tank a shell from the Tier 8 Russian tank destroyer, but silence any further contribution that can make to this match. But not to worry, the teams Leo and ARL-44 have a Tier 7 French heavy tank AMX M445 pinned down in a 2v1 fight, so what could possibly go wrong? Well, other than artillery and the enemy teams seizing the situational advantage in what is now a 1v1 fight, but Leo has a 10cm main armament, so could still one-shot the AMX, but the French heavy prevails. Enemy vehicles have also closed in on the southern flank, wearing down the Tiger Porsche to the point that the enemy T-21 makes a daring play to land a 4th unanswered kill for the red team. This leaves Progetto 46 completely isolated with a long march back to friendly lines. Their withdrawal is punctuated by artillery fire and a timely push by the enemy Stridsvagn 81, reinforcing the brave T-21. But it's the emergence of the SU-130PM and its 520 hit point alpha strike that spells the end for the premium Italian medium. Outnumbered nearly 2-1, thysnyper and their team can only consolidate, dig in and defend, with the friendly Stridsvagn M4257 landing a kill on the bridge off camera. As thysnyper channels his inner Obi-Wan Kenobi and goes for the high ground, M44 attempts a fallback along the glacier, running into the enemy LT-432, who promptly ends them with a single high explosive shell. Enemy forces attempt a breakout from the south, landing directly in sight of WZ-111FT, who knocks out the enemy T-21. Return fire renders them precariously one-shottable as thysnyper reaches the top of the hill, but the Chinese tank destroyer holds its nerve, but not its fire, slamming the enemy Tiger 1. A precise shot by thysnyper to Stridsvagn 81's cupola puts the enemy's southern advance into instant death mode, but sadly, such a lucky shot could not be repeated for the kill. Now, to the best of the sniper's knowledge, the threat from the glacier is ever present, and they are the guardians of the gate. Although we didn't give M56 Scorpion the greatest of praise at the start of the video, we haven't yet touched on its standout feature, which is penetration. With standard AP punching through 219mm of armour, M56 Scorpion has the best standard penetration of any Tier 7 premium tank destroyer, while its premium heat shell penetrates for 275mm, which is better than any other Tier 7 tank destroyer in the game. And this is an edge which thysnyper will need to leverage in order to succeed here today. Reaching the bottom of the ramp, they are slapped for 330 hit points of damage from an LT-432's high explosive shell, but prompt return fire clears the enemy light board. But the LT-432 was backed up by a Leo, who now enjoys a vastly superior hit point position over thysnyper now. Thysnyper aims and blind fires through the scrub, connecting with the Tier 7 Swedish medium, but they advance on thysnyper on the reload. Thysnyper gets another shot in as return fire goes wide. Base reload time of 7.8 seconds outstrips the 11.3 seconds required for Leo's 10cm main gun, and Thysnyper fully leverages this to push Leo all the way back to the garage for the third kill of the game. And this satisfies the first honours condition for their current personal campaign mission, but they still need to win, and they still need to reach the damage goal, which means beating down the enemy AMX-45. Although poorly armoured, the French heavy has a valley full of corpses with which to provide hard cover. Thysnyper leaves nothing to chance, indexing a premium shell, but lands another phenomenally cupola shot to leave AMX M445 on just 82 hit points, but a high roll from the French heavy will still knock thysnyper out. Thysnyper decides it's worth the risk and charges the Tier 7 French heavy tank, playing the odds that he'll stay in the game, and he does, with just 20 hit points remaining. Thysnyper swings and misses and hopes like hell he can load faster. There are fractions of seconds that will decide the outcome here, but he manages to fire first and sends AMX M445 off to the scrap heap. Guarding the bridge, our Stowage M4257 spies the enemy Su-130PM, fresh from knocking out the team's Oni off camera. 600 hit points of magazine potential proves to be just enough to destroy the premium Tier 8 Russian tank destroyer, with Stowage penetrating every single shot. Thysnyper returns to the Overwatch position, where these 4 kills in rapid succession have brought the scores to almost level, with just about every tank that still functions having dived deep into their hit point pool. The same is true for the enemy team, and as their Stowage 81 attempts a surprise flank attack from their low ground, they are unalived by the premium Tier 6 Swedium. Experimentation with shrubbery has likely enabled thysnyper to avoid detection from the Stowage 81, and as they shift angle to engage Tiger 1 in the south, WZ111FT lands the killing shot. The game is now turning from a complete rout to something winnable, putting the honours condition for victory looking pretty plumb. But we're still a long way from the 3000 hit point damage goal, and from this position thysnyper can't get a bead on the enemy Turtle Mark 1 crossing the bridge. Artillery takes another chip at the premium Tier 8 British tank destroyer, while Stowage M4257 loads the goal to try to penetrate a 195mm effective lower plate when they have 190mm of premium penetration. This risk appears to be paying off, with the second shell penetrating, the third bouncing, and the fourth leaving Turtle Mark 1 on just 6 hit points. This is a fight that thysnyper can't be a part of, however. Even when Turtle Mark 1 was at 315 hit points, engaging would be a risky venture that wouldn't net the required damage total if thysnyper was killed in the exchange. Instead, they've got the high explosive loaded, and they're going to hunt down the 600 odd hit points worth of SPGs that are still alive on the enemy team. Turtle Mark 1 continues its advance, and Stowage M4257 has just enough hit points to survive a shot from Turtle Mark 1's AP shells, but could be in trouble if they high roll a high explosive shell against the 50mm effective armour of Stowage turret facing. Stowage decides it's worth the risk and makes their move, with Stowage eating a shell from the premium Tier 8 British tank destroyer before finishing it off. Further afield, thysnyper has located the enemy AMX-13F3, which appears to be trying to put some distance between themselves and their flag. Again, we need to remember that this game is in sudden death mode for thysnyper because he has just 20 hit points remaining. Claus Kellerman's tinfoil hats are more bullet resistant than M56 Scorpion's armour profile of just 1mm on the hull and 5mm on the gun shield. Staying on the opposite side of cover, thysnyper loses sight of the enemy SPG, but that works both ways and will prevent AMX-13F3 from tracking their movements to shotgun when they break cover. And break cover they do, with AMX not expecting the wider transit and their shot going slightly wide of thysnyper. Thysnyper's gunners also had a shit the pants moment and fired too soon, leaving just one high explosive shell available. They land a non-penetrating tracking shot, while the friendly AMX-13F3 also lands a shell nearby, and thankfully not causing any damage because thysnyper is still well short of their 3000 hit point damage goal. With the last HE shell rounding out the enemy SPG, they come to 2,456 hit points inflicted, but there's only 315 hit points remaining on the enemy team. And even if Sniper can claim the full load of the enemy M44, that's still going to bring them about 230 hit points short of their goal, based on the damage we know about. And as it happens, we have the two remaining SPGs on either side stuck in close quarters battle, but AMX-13F3 is the faster SPG with the faster rate of turn, but M44 has an extra 15 degrees of lateral gun travel, and that is how they win this contest by the slimmest of margins. They still have a reserve of 305 hit points, which thysnyper will need to take a meaty chunk out of in order to have a hope of getting near their 3,000 hit point goal, plus a wing and a prayer that blind fire was enough. Thysnyper manages to reacquire the enemy M44, aims and fires for a 230 hit point yield. We're hoping they can reload in time, but Stridsvan is on the scene and claims the final kill. 2,776 hit points is the damage total we know about, so fingers crossed there was enough effective blind fire coming through in the results. And ladies and gentlemen, it would appear that he has done it. 3,215 hit points inflicted on the enemy. Obviously a couple of instances of blind fire there. Two that I can think of, we probably had this one on the Leo, as well as this one that was a shot directed towards Tiger 1, but appears to have hit something that was intervening between them that just simply wasn't spotted. So very well done there for thysnyper, and they have achieved the primary anonymous conditions for Tank Destroyer 15 for the T-28 heavy tank concept. And for their efforts, they've also picked up an Ace Mastery badge, placing them in the top 1% of tankers in M56 Scorpion for the preceding week of this game. They've also picked up the High Calibre medal for accounting for at least 20% of the total hit point pool of enemy vehicles. A couple of badges of merit here. They've picked up the Bruiser medal for causing damage to enemy vehicle modules or crew members at least 5 times in the course of the battle. They picked up the Duelist medal for destroying at least 2 enemy vehicles that have caused damage to them in turn. They picked up the Vital medal for accounting for at least 4 kills on the enemy team. 4 to 5 is what you get Fighter medal for, and 6 will get you a Top Gun, but we were just short of that requirement this particular game with 5 kills. And of course the 5 for Effect medal, which goes hand in hand with the High Calibre medal. Having a look at the team scores, they placed top on experience by a significant margin there, although very honourable mention to Nervous Waldy in the Stridsvan M4257 from bottom tiered, coming second on experience, landing over 1,500 hit points of damage and claiming 5 kills themselves. Absolutely fantastic game. As well as XXX K21 of the Emerald clan in the WZ1111GFT. That was a fantastic effort by the Chinese tank destroyer there, just keeping the gate closed from the south. A couple of honourable mentions on the enemy team. We had El Joko 1 of the Decoupling clan in the AMX M4 Military 45, over 2,000 hit points of damage and 2 kills inflicted on thysnyper's team, as well as the LT-432 operated by Radimliska 49, nearly 2,400 hit points of damage inflicted and 2 kills as well. Did really well that game, but not quite carrying hard enough. Having a look to the detailed report, this was a very profitable game for thysnyper. I guess you can somewhat expect that with premium vehicles. There was a personal missions payout here of 50,000 credits, so if we take that out of the equation, that's still 55,000 credits that they've profited from this game. And that was in spite of a little bit of premium ammunition being expended, a bit of a repair bill, but fortunately fairly light on the consumables. So very well done there to thysnyper of the JWin clan in the premium Tier 7 American Tank Destroyer M56 Scorpion. So we're doing something a little bit different with our replays at the moment. I'm really liking this format, but the production time is about, I can really only do 1 video a week with this current battle report production style. What I'm doing, however, on my Saturday stream, I'm allocating about half an hour at the end to basically do live reviews of community submitted replays. So if you're into that sort of caper, from about 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays, we basically look at some of the replays that were submitted through the week, and we can showcase your efforts that way. So please check out our Discord from the link below for the particulars there and how you can submit your replays for live review. In the meantime, happy tanking and take care out there.